Hello and welcome to April 10th of 1969. Today we are going to see Game 3 between the Phillies and Cubs. The Cubs trying to salvage the third game of this three-game set and avoid the sweep. Let's see what today's pitching matchup is going to look like. Cubs are going to send lefty Ken Holtzman out to the mound. He is making his first start of the season. Last year, he went 11-14 on 34 games started, 215 innings pitched, and he had a very good 3.35 ERA on the season. So, we're going to see the lineup of Kessinger, Beckert, Williams, Santo, Hickman, Banks, Hundley, Phillips, and the pitcher Holtzman batting ninth. For the Phillies, lefty Woody Fryman is coming out to make the start. He went 12-14 with a 2.78 ERA in 34 starts and 213 innings pitched for the Phillies in 1968. The Phillies lineup is going to include Tony Taylor, Cal Emery, Dick Allen, Larry Heil, Johnny Callison, Hank McGraw, Don Money, Cookie Rojas, and the pitcher Fryman batting ninth. It is 45 degrees today, so a slight improvement, and the wind still blowing in from right at 10 mph off the lake. Let's see what today's game has in store for us. 9,900 fans is the paid attendance at today's game. The lefty Holtzman is on the mound, facing the righty Taylor to lead off this game. The Phillies come in at 2-0, having taken the first two games of the season from the Cubs this year. The Cubs coming in at a reciprocal 0-2. And here is Holtzman with the pitch. That's a grounder towards short. Kessinger has it, flings it over to first, and that is out number one. That was a 2-1 fastball from Holtzman. And now he will face Cal Emery. 2-2 count. Holtzman with the pitch. Popped up to right. Coming in is Kingman, and he gets under it to make the catch for out number two. Hickman out and right, not Kingman. He's not due in here for a couple of years yet. Allen now batting, 2 outs, nobody on. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and that's hit hard, deep left center field. I believe Allen has just crushed that one for his first home run of the season. So Williams runs out of room. Dick Allen hits it 428 feet, clears the stadium all the way out onto the street behind left center field. 1-0 Philadelphia lead in the top of the first inning. Larry Heil is now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Holtzman strikes him out with the changeup to end the inning. The Phillies do get a run. We go to the bottom of the first with a 1-0 score. Kessinger leading off for the Cubs against Fryman here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's a 1-2 count, and Kessinger waiting for the pitch. Lined right at the first baseman, Emery. He makes the catch, and that is out number one. Beckert now batting, 1 out, nobody on, 1-2 pitch. Lined into center field, that's going to be a 1-out single for Glenn Beckert as he rounds first, but thinks better of trying for extra bases. Retreating to first, and bringing up Billy Williams with 1 out, 1 man on. Williams, a lefty, facing the lefty Fryman. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch, and that's a blooper off the end of the bat into short center field. It's going to be another base hit. Beckert wasn't sure whether he should advance to second or not. It looked like Heil might get there at one point, but ultimately he played it on the hop. So now Santo comes up with 2 men on, 1 out, and Santo facing Fryman. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called on the slider on the outside corner. And that is out number 2 on the inning. The strikeout looking brings up Jim Hickman. 2 outs, 2 men on. Cubs trying to tie this game back up. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Outside for ball 4. Hickman draws the walk and heads down to first, and that loads the bases, which will bring up Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. With 2 outs and the bases loaded, Cubs trailing by 1 in the bottom of the first inning. Banks waiting for the 1-1 pitch. Liner up the middle for a base hit. 1 run is in. rounding third and heading home. The throw comes home. Williams is safe at home, and he scores the second run. So Banks is credited with a 2-out, 2-run RBI single, and the Cubs now lead the game 2-1. Randy Hundley is the next batter. With 2 outs, runners on first and second. Here's a 1-ball count and the pitch. And that's lined right at the first baseman Emery again. He squeezes it for out number 3. The Cubs score twice and take a 2-1 lead into the top of the second inning. Callison now batting against Holtzman, leading off the Phillies half of the second. Here's a 1-1 count with the pitch. Liner past the first baseman, Banks into right field. Hickman fields it, gets it back in quickly, but that will be a single for Callison to lead off the Phillies half of the second. McGraw now batting, nobody out, runner on first. Here's a 2-2 count with the pitch. Grounder toward third, Santo has it, flips to second, but no relay to first as the double play is broken up when Beckert is taken out with a hard slide. So the fielder's choice retires the lead runner. Now with 1 out, 1 man on, Don Money is the next batter. Holtzman working with a 3-1 count. He misses low and away for ball 4. So Holtzman issues the walk, which puts runners on first and second with 1 out, and Rojas is the next batter. 1 strike count, Holtzman with the pitch. Liner up the middle, Kessinger has it, flips to Beckert, relay to Banks, and that is a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. So the Phillies get a couple of base runners. They do not score. We go to the bottom of the second inning of a 2-1 Cub lead. Adolfo Phillips is going to lead off for the Cubs. The number 8 hitter coming up to lead off the bottom of the second inning. Here's a full count and the pitch. Liner up the middle. That's a base hit for Adolfo Phillips. Leadoff single will bring up the pitcher, Holtzman, in the bottom of the second inning. Holtzman is going to be looking to lay down a sacrifice right here. Fryman working. Here's the pitch. There's the bunt. Back to the mound. The throw goes over to first. The second baseman is covering, and the sacrifice is successful. So Holtzman lays down the bunt, advances Phillips to second, and it brings up Kessinger. Kessinger batting, 1 out, runner in scoring position, 1-ball count. Here is the pitch. Liner past the third baseman into left field. That's another base hit. Rounding third and heading home. The throw comes home. The slide. Oh, and the throw gets away. There's an error as the throw gets away from the catcher. It looks like it's going to be a throwing error on the left fielder, Allen. So the run scores. The Cubs are up 3-1 now. Kessinger is credited with a single and taking second on the error. And now Glenn Beckert is the next batter. 1 out. Another runner in scoring position. Here's the first pitch to Beckert. Liner to third base. The throw goes over to first, and the out is recorded. Second out of the inning, and it brings up Billy Williams with 2 outs and a runner on second base. Kessinger hoping to get driven in here. Here's a 1-2 count. Williams pops it up, left center field, going back to the warning track, and getting under it is the center fielder, Heil. He makes the catch to retire the side. Williams certainly gave that a ride. However, the Cubs do score a run. They strand a runner. It is now 3-1 going into the top of the third inning. The pitcher, Fryman, is going to lead off against Ken Holtzman here in the top of the third. 1-ball count, Holtzman with the pitch. Lined into left field, Williams with a diving defensive play. He gets the out. A one-handed defensive gem out there in left field. And now Taylor is the next batter. 1 out, nobody on. 2-2 count from Holtzman. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Holtzman fires a changeup at 73 and to retire the batter. That is 2 outs, 2 strikeouts in the game for Holtzman, and it brings up Cal Emery. 1-1 count, Emery waiting for the pitch. Grounder toward first, Banks has it, steps on the base, and that is out number 3. The Phillies are retired in order in the third. We go to the bottom of the third inning of a 3-1 Cub lead. Ron Santo leading off for the Cubs in the bottom of the third. Here's a 1-2 count, and Santo waiting for the pitch. Popped up off the end of the bat, short right field. The second baseman going out, making the catch for out number 1. Hickman now batting, 1 out, nobody on. 3-1 count to Jim Hickman. Outside for ball 4. Hickman shows a good eye and draws the walk. Second walk issued by Fryman. and it brings up Ernie Banks. Banks, 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs back in the first inning, coming up with 1 out, 1 man on, and a 1-1 count. Banks waiting for the pitch, lined into center field. That's going to be another base hit. Rounding second, but thinking better of it, is the lead runner, Hickman. So he stops at second. Banks has a single, and it brings up Randy Hundley with 1 out, 2 men on. First pitch to Randy Hundley. Popped up, short right field. Is that going to be playable? That is. The infield fly is actually invoked, and that is out number 2. So now, Adolfo Phillips is the next batter. He's 1 for 1 today. Coming up with 2 outs and 2 men on to the bottom of the third inning. Here is the first pitch to Adolfo Phillips. Liner past third base down into the left field corner. The runner's going to round third and head home. Hickman is going to score. Banks is coming around third. He's heading home. He is going to score. Adolfo Phillips has a 2-run double down the left field line, and the Cubs are now ahead 5-1. Nice piece of hitting there with 2 outs for Adolfo Phillips, and it brings up the pitcher Ken Holtzman. With 2 outs, runner in scoring position, here's an 0-2 pitch to Holtzman, and that is strike 3 called. So Holtzman is retired on strikes to end the inning. We go to the top of the 4th of a 5-1 ball game. Dick Allen, with a solo home run, his first of the season earlier in the game, coming up to face Holtzman here in the top of the 4th inning. Here's a 3-1 count. Holtzman probably not giving him anything good to swing at here. That is outside for ball 4. So Holtzman issues the leadoff walk. I guess 1 base is better than 4. And now Larry Heil is the batter with an 0-2 count. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Heil is struck out with the fastball at 93. Callison now the batter. 1 out, 1 man on. Callison facing Holtzman with a 1-1 count. Liner over the second baseman's head into right field. Hickman fires it back into the infield quickly. The runner holds at second, and that will bring up McGraw with 1 out and 2 runners on base. Holtzman working. First pitch. Here it comes. Liner over Santos' head. He jumped, but it just passed the edge of his glove. The throw goes in home from left field, and the throw is late. So that is going to be an RBI double as the Phillies get a run back here in the top of the 4th inning. The RBI is credited to McGraw. Callison advances to third, and now Money is the batter. Don Money with 1 out, 2 runners on base, and Holtzman trying to navigate a jam here in the top of the 4th inning. Here's a 1-ball count and the pitch, and that is hit high and hard. Deep left field. Williams looks up, and it is gone. We have a tie ball game as Don Money hits a 3-run blast 416 feet down the left field line. And 4 runs have now scored in the top of the 4th inning as Holtzman has surrendered the lead, and the Cubs now working in a tie ball game. Rojas is the next batter with 1 out, nobody on base. 3-1 count. Holtzman working. Lined up the middle. That's another base hit. That's going to be a single for Rojas as he stops at first. And now the pitcher Fryman is coming up with 1 out, 1 man on. Fryman waiting for the pitch from Holtzman. He lays down the bunt. The pitcher fields, throws to second to get the lead runner. Very aggressive play by Ken Holtzman. Rojas was slow off the base in that situation, and that will be the 2nd out of the inning. So the Phillies have 2 outs now and a runner on first, and Taylor is the next batter. Full count, and strike, nope, ball 4 is called. I thought he was going to get rung up on a check swing, but the umpire says, no, you didn't swing, and that was outside. So 3rd walk of the game issued by Holtzman, bringing up Cal Emery. 2 outs, 2 men on. Holtzman trying to work his way out of the 5th inning with a tie. The 4th inning with a 5-5 tie. Here's a full count and the pitch. Popped up. Deep left center field. Looks playable. Phillips is on the warning track, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So the Cubs are not going to win this game with 5 runs. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning of a 5-5 tie. Kessinger facing Fryman in the bottom of the 4th. Cubs sending their leadoff hitter up to lead off in the 4th inning. And here's the first pitch from Fryman. Grounder right in front of the plate. The catcher pops out, he grabs it, throws down to first, and that is out number 1. Glenn Beckert now the batter. He's 1 for 2 today. Here's a 1-ball count, and the pitch to Beckert. Liner right at the shortstop. That is going to be out number 2. So 2 outs now, nobody on him. Billy Williams is the next batter. Williams coming up with a 1-2 count and the pitch. Grounder toward third. Third baseman scoops it up, throws over to first, and Williams is retired for out number 3. So the Cubs retired in order in the 4th. We go to the top of the 5th inning. It is a 5-5 tie. Holtzman coming back out to face the Phillies in the top of the 5th inning. Here is the Phillies leadoff batter, Dick Allen, who already has a home run today. Here's a 1-strike count and the pitch from Holtzman. Grounder toward short. Oh, and Kessinger boots it. He throws over to first as he tries to recover, but the throw is late, and Kessinger makes the error, and Allen is safe on first. So Larry Heil is the next batter. With nobody out, runner on first, 1-strike count. Lined into straightaway center field. Going back is Phillips. It's over his head and all the way to the wall. The throw comes back into the infield. The runner stops at third. Wow, Phillips recovered nicely for having that ball go over his head and all the way to the wall. That was an absolute rocket out off the wall in straightaway center field. So Callison now batting with runners on second and third, nobody out, and there's going to be activity in the Cub bullpen. So Archie Reynolds is going to start warming up for the Cubs to potentially come in and relieve Holtzman here in the 5th inning. Here's a 1-2 count and the pitch. Grounder towards second. The throw goes over to first. The run is conceded as the Phillies take a 6-5 lead on a fielder's choice. The out is recorded, and Heil advances to third. McGraw now batting with 1 out and a runner 90 feet away. Going to walk out to the mound and see how Holtzman is doing. He says he's got plenty of juice left, but he's really struggling here in the last 2 innings. McGraw now working, facing Holtzman with a 1-strike count and the pitch. Lined over the second baseman's head into short right field. That's going to drive in another run. Hickman cuts it off, gets it back into the infield quickly. That is an RBI single for McGraw, and it brings up Don Money, who hit a 3-run home run his last time up to tie the ball game. The RBI single drives in Callison from third. The Phillies now have a 7-5 lead. Holtzman facing Money with a 3-1 count, and here's the pitch. That's ball 4. It is low as Holtzman misses with a changeup, and that is going to bring up Rojas. So Reynolds is ready to pitch. He is going to come in relief of Holtzman here in the 5th inning. He is going to just get slotted right into the number 9 spot. Archie Reynolds coming in. Holtzman's day is over. Reynolds, having thrown 2 innings of relief yesterday, scoreless relief yesterday, is going to pitch again here today. Reynolds facing Rojas with 1 out, 2 men on. Here's a 1-1 count, and Reynolds with the pitch. Liner right at Banks at first base. Had to dive back for Money. He thought he was going to get doubled off, but Banks was too far away from the base to complete the double play, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Fryman. 2 outs, 2 men on. 0-2 count. Fryman pops it up on the infield. Santo coming over. He calls off the pitcher and makes the catch for out number 3. So the Phillies score 2 more times. They take a 7-5 lead into the bottom of the 5th inning. Reynolds does manage to navigate the inning, get the Cubs out of that jam, and now Santo is coming up to lead off for the Cubs in the bottom of the 5th. Here's a 3-0 count, and Fryman with the pitch. Outside for ball 4, Santo draws the walk, and now Hickman is the batter. With nobody out, runner on first. 1-2 count to Hickman. Lined into straightaway center field. Is that going to be caught? Oh, a diving play in center field. Hickman is robbed. Man, Heil really hustled and laid out to make that catch for the first out of the inning. And now Ernie Banks is the batter. With 1 out, 1 man on. Banks waiting for a 1-1 pitch. Popped up to center field. This is going to be a bit more routine as Heil makes this catch on his feet for out number 2. Randy Hundley now the batter. 2 outs. Runner on first. Santo hoping to be driven in here. Hundley waiting for the first pitch, and it's popped up short right field. I believe that's going to be caught behind second base, or in short right field by the second baseman for out number 3. So the Cubs get the leadoff runner on, but they cannot move him around the bases. We go to the top of the 6th inning of a 7-5 ball game. So Reynolds is going to face the top of the Phillies lineup here in the top of the 6th inning. He is going to face Taylor, Emery, and Allen. Here's a 2-2 count, and Reynolds with the pitch. Popped up, deep left center field. Williams looks like he has a line on it, and he makes the catch on the warning track for out number 1. Emery now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Reynolds working with a 2-2 count, and here is the pitch. Grounder towards short. Kessinger has it, throws over to first, and that is out number 2. Dick Allen now the batter. 2 outs, nobody on. Reynolds working with a 2-2 count, and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Allen is retired as the Phillies go down 1-2-3 in the 6th inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Phillies leading by 2 at Wrigley. The Cubs are going to warm up a different relief pitcher now, and it's going to be, I believe it's going to be Ted Abernathy. Yes. Abernathy is going to be warmed up as the pitcher spot is due up second in this inning. Phillips is going to face Fryman. He is 2 for 2 today with 2 RBIs to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's an 0-2 count, and Fryman is working with the pitch. Hit hard, deep left center field. Going toward the warning track. I think it's going to stay in the park, though, and Phillips is retired for out number 1. Reynolds now is going to be pinch hit for as we go to the Cubs bench. We're going to see the righty, nope, not him, sorry. The righty, Montreal, is going to come in and pinch hit for the pitcher's spot. Montreal facing Fryman with 1 out, nobody on. He is 0 for 1 on the season so far. And here comes the pitch. Liner over the first baseman's head down the right field line. Montreal gets a base hit. This is going to be extra bases, rounding first, heading for second. He slides into second with a double. So the pinch hitter Montreal pays off in this situation. And now Kessinger comes up with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Fryman working to Kessinger with a 2-1 count. Grounder toward third. Scooped up, throws over to first, and that is out number 2. And now Glenn Beckert is going to bat. He is 1 for 3 today, coming up with 2 outs, a runner on second base. Here's a 1-1 count and the pitch to Beckert. Grounder towards second, scooped up, throws over to first, and that is out number 3. So the Cubs get a 1-out double. However, they're not able to capitalize, and we go to the top of the 7th of a 7-5 ball game. Now, Kessinger is going to be replaced in a double switch as Montreal, yes, Montreal is going to become the new Cubs shortstop, and the pitcher Abernathy will come in the number 1 spot. So Abernathy, making his first appearance of the season, is going to face Heil, Callison, and McGraw here in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the first pitch from Abernathy. Looking for the sign, and here it comes. Lined into right field, Hickman coming in. He plays it on a hop, and that is a leadoff single for Larry Heil. And it brings up Callison. Nobody out, runner on first, 1 strike count, and the pitch. That's a throw down to second, a steal attempt. The throw is late, and the stolen base total is 2 now for Larry Heil. Hundley, it was a little bit late getting that ball down to second, and now Callison waiting for the 2-strike pitch from Abernathy. And here it comes. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So he got him on the fastball. The submarine pitcher fools him with a fastball at 89, and now McGraw is the batter. 1 out, 1 man on, 1 ball count. Here is the pitch to McGraw. Popped up to right field. Hickman has a line on it. Phillips is calling him off and makes the catch on the warning track for out number 2. The Wind definitely knocked that one down. It looked like it came off the bat pretty well, but it got pushed back into the park and allowed Phillips to make the catch for the second out of the inning. The runner Heil tags up and advances to third after the catch, and it brings up Don Money. Money with 2 outs and runner on third facing Abernathy. Here's a 1-ball count and the pitch. Popped up center field. Actually left center field as it continues to drift over. Phillips, however, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. So the Phillies get a runner around to third, but he does not score. We go now to the bottom of the 7th inning of a 7-5 ball game. And as the folks in the stands are setting themselves back down after the 7th inning stretch, Billy Williams steps up to the plate. He is 1 for 3 today, facing Fryman with nobody out. Bottom of the 7th inning, 1 strike count. Here it comes. Popped up opposite field, very high up in the air. Dick Allen chasing toward the line, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Santo now batting. 1 out, nobody on. 1-ball count to Ron Santo. Here's the pitch. Liner into left field. That's going to be a single. Santo has a 1-out base hit as he is standing on first. And that will bring up Hickman with 1 out, 1 man on. Fryman working to Hickman. He is 0 for 1 today. Here's a 1-1 count. And Hickman waiting for the pitch. That one's lined into right field. I believe that's going to drop for another base hit. Santo rounding second, heading for third. The throw goes to third. Santo slides, and he is safe. Some aggressive base running there pays off for the Cubs as Santo goes first to third on the Hickman single, and it brings up Ernie Banks. 1 out, runners on the corners, and a new Philly pitcher, Turk Farrell, will come in. He has thrown 1 inning, allowed 1 hit this year, and no earned runs. Farrell facing Banks. Here's the first pitch with runners on the corners. Infield drawn in. Here it comes. Grounder towards second. Thrown over to second. The relay to first, and that ends the inning. Banks grounds into a 4-6-3 double play, and that ends the inning for the Cubs. So runner is stranded. We go to the top of the 8th of a 7-5 ball game. Abernathy will be asked to work his second inning as he's going to face the 8, 9, and 1 batters in the Philadelphia lineup. Abernathy facing Rojas. 1 strike count. Abernathy with the pitch. Here it comes. Liner into left field. I believe that's going to be a base hit as Williams plays it on a hop, and a leadoff single for Rojas brings up the pitcher's spot, and this will be a pinch hitter, Briggs, as he will face Abernathy with nobody out and a runner on first. Here's a 2-2 count. Abernathy with the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Got him with the fastball, again right at 89, and Taylor now the batter. Abernathy's fastball just has a ton of movement on it. So Taylor coming up with 1 out, 1 man on. Here's a 1-strike pitch from Abernathy. Grounder toward third. Santo has it. Throws over to first as there's no chance to get the lead runner, and that is the second out of the inning. So Rojas advances to second. Cal Emery is now the batter with 2 outs and a runner on second. Here's a first pitch from Abernathy. Popped up to right. I believe Hickman's going to play this one on the fly. He steps up and makes the catch for out number 3. So the Phillies get a base runner. They do not score. We go to the bottom of the 8th of a 7-5 ball game. The Cubs, with the pitcher's spot due up 4th in this inning, are going to warm up another relief pitcher. This time it will be Hank Aguirre. Hank Aguirre. He is going to be the Cub pitcher for the top of the 9th inning. So Randy Hundley facing the new Philly reliever. This is Gary Wagner. He threw 1 inning of relief with issued 2 walks. So hopefully the Cubs can capitalize and get some runs off him today. Here's a 2-1 count. Hundley waiting for the pitch. Lined into left center field. Is that going to get down? No, the shortstop is back, and he makes the catch under that looper for out number 1. Phillips now the batter. Coming up with 1 out, nobody on. Phillips 2 for 3 today, having a pretty good day. Here's a 2-1 count, and the pitch to Phillips. Line deep left center field. I believe that's got it, and he's going to go all the way to the wall with it. Hard hit ball. rounding second, heading for third. Gonna slide and safe with a lead, a one-out triple here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So the Cubs hopefully getting that spark they need to get back into this game, and now Montreal is gonna bat. He is 1 for 1 already today. He pinch hit the last time around. He comes up with 1 out and a runner on third. Here is the first pitch to Montreal. Liner at the shortstop. That is going to be out number 2. Just a little bit higher, and that would have been into left field to drive in the run. However, Phillips dove back safely to third and avoids being doubled off. So now the lefty Willie Smith is going to be brought in to pinch hit for the pitcher here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Smith is going to face Wagner with 2 outs and a runner on third. Smith representing the tying run. Here's a 1-1 count and the pitch to Smith. And that's hit high and hard, deep left field, but that's going to be caught on the warning track for out number 3. Smith certainly gave that a ride, but it was not deep enough. So the Phillies go to the top of the 9th inning, leading by 2. So the Cubs are going to bring in Hank Aguirre. He is going to come into the number 1 spot and be the new pitcher. Bottom of the 9th inning, the Cubs have the 2, 3, and 4 batters coming up. So Aguirre is going to face Allen, Heil, and Callison here at the top of the 9th inning. 1 ball count. Aguirre with the pitch. Liner into left field, that's going the opposite way. Billy Williams plays that on a hop, and that is going to be a leadoff single for Allen, and it brings up Larry Heil. Nobody out, runner on first. Aguirre working with a 1-1 count. Grounder back toward the mound, the shortstop has it, and he hangs on to it. Montreal hustles in, but he does not make the throw as the speedy Heil beats out the throw easily to first base. There was no point in trying to throw over there. He was basically standing on first by the time Montreal picked it up off the ground. So that's unfortunate. Now there's runners on first and second, nobody out, and Callison is the next batter. Callison facing Aguirre, 2-1 count, and here's the pitch. Liner down the left field line, that's going to drive in a run. Williams cuts it off from getting all the way to the wall. The throw comes home. The runner comes home. He slides, and he is safe. So the Phillies score an insurance run here in the top of the 9th. They take an 8-5 lead. Callison credited with the RBI single, and it brings up McGraw. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. And here's the pitch from Aguirre. Grounder toward third. Santo has it. Throws over to first, but he is late. And the throw is late. The runner is not retired as the umpire calls him safe on a bang-bang play. So Don Money is now the batter. Don Money is going to bat with nobody out. The bases are loaded. In the top of the 9th inning. 1 strike count. Here's the pitch. Lined into center field. Coming in is Phillips. He's going to make the diving play to catch that ball and record the first out of the inning. Now the throw comes home, but Heil slides and he is safe, and the Phillies now have a 9-5 lead. So 1 out is recorded. Rojas is the batter. Runners on first and second, and here's a 2-2 count with the pitch. Grounder towards second. Beckert has it. Flips to Montreal, over to Banks, and that ends the inning. So the inning mercifully ends. The Phillies score 2 more times. We go to the bottom of the 9th of a 9-5 Philadelphia lead. Glenn Beckert is going to lead off against Gary Wagner here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Beckert batting 1 for 4 today. 1-1 count. Waiting for the pitch. Here it comes. Liner on the ground over towards short. The throw goes to first, and Beckert is retired for out number 1. Billy Williams now the batter. With 1 out, nobody on. Here is the first pitch to Billy Williams. And that's hit hard down the right field line. He hit that one. He pulled it hard. Hit it very hard, a rocket all the way to the wall. Williams Rounding second, heading for third, he is going to have a triple with one out here in the bottom of the ninth inning. So Williams coming up big for the Cubs in the bottom of the ninth. They need base runners if they're going to score some runs, and now Santo is the next batter. One out, a runner 90 feet away. Here's the 1-ball count and the pitch to Santo. Hit hard, deep right center field. I believe he got all that one. Ron Santo with his first home run of the season. And he drives in two as the Phillies lead is cut down to 9-7. Santo, 407 feet, the opposite way out to right field. So the Phillies lead is cut down to 9-7, and Jim Hickman is the next batter. One out, nobody on. Hickman waiting for the 1-2 count, and here's the pitch. That's a swing and a miss for strike three, and Hickman swung at that one like he thought he was going to hit it about 5 miles, but he swung and missed, and that's the second out of the inning. It brings up Ernie Banks. 2 outs, nobody on, 1-1 count to Banks. Here is the pitch. Hit hard, deep right center field. I believe the park's going to hold it, though, as the wind knocks that one down on the warning track, and the catch is made to end the game. So the Cubs rally, but they come up short and lose this game as they are swept by the Phillies. It is now a 9-7 ball game. The Phillies got 9 runs on 14 hits with 1 error. The Cubs 7 runs on 13 hits with 1 error. The player of the game today is the Phillies' Don Money. He hit the home run that tied it at 5 in the 4th inning, and the Phillies really never looked back after that. Money went 1 for 2 with 4 RBIs and drew 2 walks. The Cubs' Ken Holtzman is tagged with the loss. He falls to 0-1. He threw 4 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 2 home runs allowed. Fryman, for the Phillies, earns the win. He went 6 1/3, 10 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. And Wagner gets his second save of the season. Well, thank you for watching Cubs baseball.